My girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend, who later tried to beat me to death at a gathering. Now I'm left questioning everything about those I trusted most. I, 31M, and Nathan, 30, has been my friend since we were 18. We connected over our shared career aspirations. After years of setbacks and numerous rejections, my career finally began to flourish over the past 3 years, whereas Nathan's did not. Throughout this time, I've dedicated significant effort to support him, offering encouragement and assistance. We even shared an apartment from ages 23 to 25, splitting everything equally. Roughly a year ago, his demeanor towards me shifted. He began mocking me, making belittling and disparaging comments. Typically, I'm an optimistic person and initially shrugged it off, thinking he was just envious and going through a tough period. I empathized with his struggles, recognizing the competitive nature of our field, filled with rejections and how difficult it must be to watch a friend achieve the success you've long desired. Then there is my former girlfriend, Emma, 30. For over 6 years, I believed we had an ideal relationship, excellent communication, a healthy sex life, and unwavering support throughout my challenging career journey. I tend to be quite open and enjoyed discussing everything with her. We had no secrets, or so I thought. I always made an effort to keep our relationship lively and exciting, planning weekly date nights, surprising her with gifts and trips, trying new activities together like cooking and dance classes. I cherished sharing experiences with her, engaging in her hobbies, and ensuring she knew she was my top priority. I believed she reciprocated those feelings. Even as my career advanced, I made sure not to neglect her or my friends, maintaining a balance between work and personal life. Last week, we were all at our friend's place, Matt and Grace, 31, who had recently bought a house. We were sitting in their backyard drinking with Jason, 28, and Anna, 31. Our friend group has been close for 8 years. Nathan got drunk quickly and spent the evening taking jabs at me. After a year of this, I finally had enough and confronted him, which led to an argument. I mentioned that his behavior stemmed from jealousy over my recent success and that it's not my fault he hasn't succeeded. I also reminded him of all the support I've given to help him get opportunities. Suddenly, he attacked me. We pushed each other, but he managed to knock me down and kick me in the ribs several times. Then he tried to stomp on my head. Fortunately, he didn't fully connect. His foot grazed my cheek, leaving it swollen. He attempted it again, but I moved just in time, narrowly avoiding a potentially fatal blow. The others intervened, and I got up, shouting at him. He seemed to walk away, but then picked up a wooden plank. Matt and Grace were working on their fence and shed in the garden. Nathan lunged at me again, swinging the plank towards my head. I ducked and raised my arm, taking the blow on my elbow. Again, he could have killed me within seconds. He almost struck Isabella with his wild swing. Chaos erupted, and Matt and Jason tackled him, beating him severely in their rage. The girls managed to pull them off Nathan, and everyone realized the gravity of the situation. Nathan sat up, and Emma went to his side. His face was bloody, but he didn't lose consciousness. Lauren ended up driving Nathan to the hospital and came back in the morning. Nathan had a broken nose and a slight concussion, and she dropped him off at his parents' place. She said Nathan didn't really talk to her, explain himself, or even apologize. None of us really slept that night, and honestly, after that, things are a bit blurry to me. Probably a mix of alcohol, shock, and adrenaline from the worst night of my life. But it just got worse. You might have noticed I haven't mentioned Emma for a while. We were sitting around, and Matt said something like, Nathan deserved worse than a broken nose for trying to kill me twice and almost hurting Anna. Then Emma, who had been quiet, suddenly snapped and defended Nathan, saying he doesn't deserve any of this and that he has just been having a hard time. Matt and Emma almost ended up in a screaming match before Emma stormed off. I followed her, thinking we were all in shock and sleep-deprived, and planned to comfort her. I found her in the guest room crying. I told her I understood we were all in shock and maybe we should just try to get some sleep. She didn't even look at me, and suddenly I realized that Nathan and Emma were sitting next to each other the previous evening. It wasn't the first time. When Nathan was screaming at me, Emma was by his side, hugging his arm, pleading with him to take a walk with her and calm down. Pleading with Nathan, not me. After Nathan kicked me, stomped on me, and swung a plank at me, her attention was still on calming him down while I lay there in pain. She didn't check on me, When the guys were beating Nathan, she was screaming and trying to pull them off him. I don't even remember her asking me once if I was okay all night. So I asked her, "Are you cheating on me with Nathan?" She just started crying hysterically, repeating that she never intended for it to go this far. And I got my answer. I just lost it and started yelling at her, asking what was going on and how she could do this. The others came in, and the guys took me to another room and tried to calm me down. Emily and Lauren ended up driving Emma to her parents' place, and Emily stayed with her because they were worried about her. All the car ride, she cried so much she couldn't speak. When they got to her parents', Emily and Emma's dad had to help her up the stairs and into bed as she could barely stand, still hysterical. The only thing she managed to say, or scream, according to them, was that she had ruined everything. Emily stayed because her parents were worried sick and had never seen her like this. Emily and Lauren told them what had happened with Nathan and me, and it seemed to stem from Nathan and Emma's affair. 5 days passed, and I was in so much physical and emotional pain, just so angry and confused. My elbow had a fracture, I had a couple of bruised ribs, and the right side of my face was swollen. The night kept replaying in my head. I sent Emma some texts asking for an explanation, but she didn't answer. Then, this morning, I got a call from my former mother-in-law. Bless their hearts, my former in-laws are amazing people who have always been kind to me and have helped me a lot these past years. She was very apologetic for her daughter and very understanding. Then she said that Emma wanted to see me and talk and asked if I could come over, which I agreed to. I arrived, and they said that they would wait outside in their car to give us space, but because of Emma's state, they didn't want to leave the premises. When I walked in and saw Emma, it was a roller coaster of emotion, anger, and bitterness. Then, I felt sorry for her and just wanted to hug her. She looked awful, like a mental patient who hadn't eaten, showered, or slept since that night. I just felt so bad seeing her like that. I had to restrain myself from running over and taking her in my arms, so I just sat down facing her. She said I could ask her anything, and that she would be honest, repeatedly saying how sorry she was and how she had ruined everyone's lives. I'm not going to go into too many details, as this is long enough, but basically a year ago, Nathan confessed his love for Emma and had been very persistent since then. She said she made it clear it wasn't mutual. I asked why she didn't come to me, and she said she didn't want to ruin our friendship and wanted to fix things herself. In the past few months, he had become more aggressive, asking her to leave me for him. I asked if anything had happened between them. She admitted they kissed twice, with Nathan initiating both times, but she stopped it. They also cuddled once while watching a movie, during which Nathan tried to initiate sex and she left, setting clear boundaries. I asked why she kept seeing him alone if he was constantly trying to kiss her and get her into bed. She said he always promised he wouldn't do it again. I asked why she didn't cut contact, why she kept answering his DMs, kept meeting him, giving him false hope and leading him on. Did she like his attention? Then she said the strangest thing, that she felt bad for him, felt sorry for him, felt protective of him like she was his big sister. WTF. She felt the need to help him get over her. She even set him up on a date with a friend, which she sabotaged by being a jerk to the girl. I asked her if she was stupid. If she was telling the truth, she did nothing but keep his hope and crush for her alive by giving him all her time. She started crying and doubled down on having a sister-brother relationship with him, wanting to fix everything, saying he was just having a hard time and she wanted to help him get on his feet again. But he kept getting more persistent and started talking badly about me, saying I didn't deserve her. She said she regretted everything, admitting she was stupid and had ruined everything, dealing with everything in the worst way possible. But she did it in good faith, not realizing she was just making things worse. Then I asked her if she had any contact with him since that night, and she took an awkward pause before bursting into tears and saying yes. That just destroyed me completely. This man had been trying to get with her for over a year, tried to kill me. And I waited 5 days for her to answer me, only for her mother to call me on her behalf. Meanwhile, she had been texting with him. I couldn't answer. I just felt like hurting her emotionally. not physically, so I decided to get up and go. She pleaded with me, offering to show me the texts, saying she just checked if he was okay and then told him it was over and to stop contacting her. But to me, she made her choice. I was in the worst pain of my life these last 5 days because of them, and she still chose to continue talking to him while I was on my own. I walked out with her following me, pleading. Her mom and dad got out of the car and asked if everything was all right, and I just lost it. I yelled that their daughter had ruined my life, asking how she could choose the man who tried to stomp on my face over me. I was so angry I couldn't even drive, so I just started walking away. I don't know how long I was walking, but my ex-father-in-law drove up next to me and told me to get in, which I did, expecting him to yell at me or tell me off. But bless his heart, he just drove me home. We didn't talk all the way, but when he stopped outside my place, he put his hand on my shoulder. I couldn't even look him in the face after what I said to them. Emma did text me a screenshot of their texts, which seemed to prove what she said, that she only checked if he was okay, and then told him she couldn't keep him in her life and that she would never forgive him for attacking me. She also sent Solai more screenshots of their previous chats, mostly of her telling him to stop, that she didn't have feelings for him, and of her rejecting his advances. But as they had been talking for over a year, I guess she could cherry-pick parts of the conversations that looked in her favor and leave other parts out. I've not responded yet, and I don't think I ever will. I will block her, but for some reason, I just can't yet. Now I'm here, just getting this all out of me. I feel so betrayed, angry, and horrible. I want to hurt Emma and Nathan so badly, not in a violent way, just emotionally, to make them feel the pain I'm feeling. I know that's not a healthy way to feel, or a healthy thing to do, so I hope just writing this out, even if no one reads it, will help me start to process what the hell has happened, how my life went from feeling perfect to feeling like I will never feel good again. I feel like this pain will never go away. How on earth can someone heal from this? I feel like I lost everything. The people I used to love with all my heart, I now feel nothing but hatred for. Emma said she didn't cheat and didn't have sex with Nathan, which I doubt because I'm not stupid. Even if they didn't have sex, she still betrayed me on so many levels, as did Nathan. I don't think I will ever forgive them. I don't feel like I will ever get to a place where I would even consider trying to. So to anyone who has ever been through a betrayal like this, from partners or friends or both, what is my next step? How can I begin the process to stop thinking about this and start trying to live my life again? Update. I hadn't felt the need to post an update until now, but I could use some advice again, or at least some reassurance on what to do. Since so many of you asked for an update on everything, I'll do my best, though getting into too many details will make this long again. I hope that spilling all my thoughts out here might clear things up. A lot of people urged me to press charges against Nathan. Maybe this comes from a place of faith in the justice system, but it's different where I am. I spoke with 2 lawyers, and they both agreed that while I could press charges, the chances of Nathan actually going to jail are slim. The most likely result would be that he'd end up paying for the trial and maybe a settlement, large or small, depending on the damage done. Since I don't have any permanent injuries, it could mean he only pays a small fee. Sure, my friends could testify, but the judge will probably make a decision based mostly on the actual physical damage. I could ruin him financially, but that would open the door for Nathan to counter with charges against my friends Mark and Jason for breaking his nose and giving him a concussion. They'd probably face worse outcomes than he would. This whole thing could drag on for months or years, and honestly, I just want it over. Nathan's reputation has taken a hit. He's lost some friends while others are staying neutral. Even his family is disappointed in him, except his younger sister, who refuses to talk to him after learning the whole story. Nathan sent me an apology letter, but he only mentioned his attack on me. Not a word about Emma. It was sincere, but not heartfelt, and I haven't responded. Emily and Lauren, 2 of my close friends, suggested that maybe Nathan had been abusive to Emma, so I brought it up, acting a bit clueless and asking if they knew anything. They admitted they'd known about Nathan kissing Emma, but claimed Emma downplayed it and handled it herself. Emily's defensiveness only made me feel like there's more she isn't telling. Matt is now upset with Emily, wondering what else she might be hiding. I'm staying out of it, but told him not to get angry at her because of me. Lauren came to talk, saying she genuinely didn't know much and had assumed Emma told me. She seemed honest and apologetic, unlike Emily, who I've since gone low contact with, which has affected my friendship with Matt too. As for Emma, I couldn't go straight to no contact. I needed to get everything off my chest to find some closure. 4 days after the incident, I called her parents and asked to come by to apologize and speak with her. Her parents were actually relieved, maybe even hopeful I was going to forgive her. When I got there, we talked. I apologized, and they said they understood my reaction. Afterward, they left Emma and me alone in the living room. She looked absolutely broken, like she was hoping for a hug, but I just told her to sit down so we could talk. She repeated her story, adding that she felt trapped by Nathan's threats to expose their kisses, saying it would destroy our relationship and ruin my friendship with him. When I asked if he'd been physically abusive, she hesitated before admitting he'd hurt her twice. Once grabbing her wrists, another time leaving a bruise on her arm. I asked why she kept spending time alone with him even after he made advances, and she said she was just trying to fix the situation herself. I told her the thing that hurt most was how she'd rushed to him after the attack instead of to me. She insisted she hadn't chosen him, but I said it still felt like she did. I told her how much this hurt and made it clear we were over and I'd be going no contact. But doubts about her story wouldn't leave me alone. So I reached out to Rachel, her best friend, and practically begged her to tell me the full truth. Rachel admitted she knew about Nathan's kiss but had told Emma to come clean. Rachel also mentioned that Emma used to feel needed when she supported me in my career struggles, but once things picked up, she sought that dynamic with Nathan. Rachel suspected Emma liked Nathan's attention, but not enough to actually want a relationship with him. Since then, Sarah has been texting me often, even sending memes that have taken on a flirty tone. I've tried to ignore it, but I think I need to make it clear I'm not interested. Then, about a week ago, I got a text from Emma. I'd blocked her on everything except, by accident, her phone number. She just asked how I was, told me she smiled for the first time in weeks because of me, and sent a photo of me from her TV screen saying she was proud of me. Stupidly, I replied, and we chatted for 2 days. She eventually asked if I'd let her back into my life in some small way, and I told her it was unlikely before saying goodbye and blocking her again. Last Friday night, around midnight, there was a knock at my door, and there she was, standing in the rain. She said she'd been out drinking and wanted to see me, but then chickened out. I let her in and gave her some dry clothes. We sat in silence, her acting distant, cold, nothing like herself. I was weirded out but figured it was best to get her home, so I offered to drive her. She asked to hold my hand for one last time. Against my better judgment, I agreed. She mentioned Nathan had sent her a letter asking her to move with him to another country, but she threw it out. The next morning, I found her underwear in my bathroom. Left in the one spot clothes sometimes fall. So now I'm wondering if she left it there on purpose. I unblocked her, thinking she might apologize for showing up drunk, but nothing. She's changed her social media, deleted nearly every photo except for one of us on a trip we both loved. I hate to admit it, but I still miss her. I've been going in circles, considering going fully no contact, reaching out for one last honest conversation, or even trying to reconcile. A part of me still resents her, yet another part worries about her. Seeing her so broken that night. I'm stuck, Reddit. Do I go no contact and try to be strong? Do I reach out for an honest conversation? Or do I give her a chance to clear her conscience so we can both move forward? I could really use some advice. Commentary time. This story is a raw portrayal of betrayal, heartbreak, and the emotional storm that follows when trust is shattered by those closest to you. OP's experiences with both his friend Nathan and his girlfriend Emma reveal the complexity of relationships and how jealousy, selfishness, and poor decisions can ripple through lives, leaving devastation in their wake. OP's commitment to Nathan as a friend, offering support and understanding for years, and his dedication to his relationship with Emma highlight his loyalty and resilience. He stood by both, only to be blindsided by a betrayal that escalated into physical danger. Nathan's relentless envy of OP's career success reflects how jealousy, left unchecked, can morph into resentment and eventually destructive actions. That his friend's jealousy culminated not only in verbal abuse, but in a physical attack shows just how corrosive unresolved feelings can become. And the layers of betrayal don't end there. Emma's involvement and her choice to prioritize Nathan's well-being over OP's at every turn intensify the heartbreak. While she claims her actions were misguided attempts to help Nathan, her behavior, comforting Nathan after his attack on OP and still engaging with him afterward, signals a clear lack of empathy and awareness for her partner's pain. OP's choice to finally confront both Emma and Nathan and then set boundaries, despite the heartbreak and confusion, shows impressive courage. He's been pulled between anger, empathy, and the desire for closure, all while bearing physical injuries and emotional trauma. Emma's attempts to justify her actions by framing them as concern or big sister protection for Nathan fall flat and further illustrate her inability to acknowledge the pain she's caused OP. Her mixed signals, from expressing regret to trying to remain in his life, serve only to reopen wounds and complicate OP's path toward healing. In the end, this story underscores a crucial lesson. Healing from betrayal requires setting boundaries, even with those you once held close. OP has been through a profound violation of trust and is understandably struggling with conflicting emotions. However, staying connected with Emma or Nathan may hinder his progress and prolong the emotional turmoil. For OP to truly heal, taking space for himself and focusing on rebuilding his life independently may be his best step forward. Sometimes the people we need to let go of are the ones we once trusted most. What would you do in OP's situation? Do you think he should completely cut ties and focus on healing? Or does a final conversation with Emma make sense to gain closure? Share your thoughts and advice in the comments below. OP could use the support and insights from those who've experienced similar heartbreak. And if you found this story engaging, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more real-life stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's build a community of support, one story at a time.